really doing this commentary, this football analysis. I kind of started wrong already. I meant to say welcome back to the best individual football debate show on YouTube. JVM and Yusuf, we're going to be here to talk about a lot of things about in
The
football.
expects, the expects, you know?
We're back to back, and I kind of thought maybe we won't have as many topics to talk about today. But really and truly, like there's a lot of things to talk about. Like you'll be surprised at how many things happen in the world of football within 24
Trust
hours.
me.
It's crazy.
Trust me. I now understand how ESPN stays in business.
Yeah.
Sports is a crazy business, bro.
Like the amount of things that happen within 24 hours, the amount of things we have to talk about now is very, very. It's good. It's good for content. It's good for business. But as a fan as well, it's just like this: what you want. You want things to keep going, to evolve, to for the game to continue to grow. That's what we want. But yeah, I just want to start off today talking about this man, Florentino Perez, the best football mind, the most football savvy businessman in the game. You know,
Facts.
he was getting a lot of hate back in the day when the football league, was it football league or Super League, was around. Excuse me.
Super
And
League, yeah.
yeah, he was getting a lot of hate. When Real Madrid weren't performing after Ronaldo left, he was getting a lot of hate.
hmm
But we are here now in 2024, and this man has won. He's helped Real Madrid to win 2 Champions Leagues. Even if he was to retire tomorrow, he secured the future of the club for at least the next,
Facts.
yeah, for at least the next 5 years. So we're gonna start today talking about Florentino Perez, and the reason why we're talking about Florentino Perez, there's not really a reason to talk about the most influential man in football, the most influential president. There's a lot of things to be said about, United's awful management, Arsenal's poor management, Liverpool's poor management. But Real Madrid, they are the biggest club and have the best management. But why we are here today is the simple fact that the best team in the world, the Champions League winners, that just went on to get that just went on to get Mbappe, also recorded a revenue of 1 billion. Was it 1 billion euros? 1 billion
Yeah, I think 1.2 or something, but let's just say 1 billion. They are the first team to crack 1 billion euros in world football.
in revenue,
First team to ever record 1 billion euros in a season in world football
which is
and
again.
1 billion in revenue.
I was trying to give this prolonged monologue because I want to do Florentino justice. I don't want to just get in this topic like any other topic. You're the best team in the world. You're the champions of Europe. You just signed the best player in the world, and you're making the most money. Explain to me, Yusuf, how the hell do you stop these guys? How do you
And
stop Real
one thing you
Madrid?
should realize is Mbappe isn't even on the books for this year. So Mbappe's contract and whatever revenue he brings from jersey sales counts for next year. So this 1 billion doesn't include whatever revenue we've earned from Kylian Mbappe, whose jersey is 160 euros,
Yeah.
whose jersey right now you have a wait time of 3 weeks or to 4 weeks to receive because it's out of stock. Yo, this might be the biggest or the greatest time in Real Madrid history
Yeah.
because we have the performances, we have the trophies, the fans are happy, and we have the finances to back everything that we are doing. This is the first time we have not truly overspent on Galacticos, so we need a team to work. We have not truly overspent on a squad that has to work now. We've actually built the squad from scratch and brought it to the level of excellence and the level of expense that we've brought it to. Look, there was a picture I saw on the internet. Barcelona spent 200 million on 4 players. Real Madrid spent the same 200 million on Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo, Vini Jr., Bellingham, Chouamini, Camavinga. Yo, Valverde, the list goes on. Same 200 million spent in two different ways, but look at what assets we've been able to bring. Florentino Perez is a genius. When he started this process of buying the Wonder Kids and Martin Odegaard didn't really work, do you remember Hilalovic?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
do.
remember the likes of Hilarovic and stuff like that? When all of those trials were not working for teams, it felt like Florentino Perez and Barcelona were not doing the right thing. And Barcelona stopped with it, but Florentino kept looking for this wonder kits. And now he's been able to hit gold with like 4 wonder kits that he spent little to nothing on. And he's been able to hit gold on other wonder kits that he might have paid a lot for, but they are value for money. We have spent 2 billion to 3 billion to renovate a stadium and still recorded a net revenue of 1 billion. I don't think no franchise in world football has ever done something like this in a year where we have spent close to 2 billion, or in 5 years that we have spent close to 2 billion to 3 billion renovating the stadium to where it is now. Florentino Perez is a genius.
He's a genius. And as you were saying all that stuff, I was like trying to pinpoint the exact year when things kind of began to take a turn for the positive. Because let's not forget, when Ronaldo left, Real Madrid was not in a very good spot. You know, they weren't winning. Barcelona was performing well. Vinny was not the player that Real Madrid needed. Hazard came in, but Hazard was a massive bust. So when you're thinking about Real Madrid and you're thinking about how it came to be and how Perez came to turn things around, it is much deeper than just like the surface level and the 1.2 billion. That's of course amazing, but there's definitely a method to the madness, and that's kind of what I want to delve deeper into today. Yusuf texted me and he was talking to me about Real Madrid also wanting to sign what's his name, signing Trent and Alphonso Davies, and it's like and even with Lenny Euro, it's like they are not rushing to sign any more players. Real Madrid are already the best team in the world. It's like they don't need to go and sign these players. These players come when they want to and when Real Madrid gives them the green light. And right now, you're seeing 1 billion 1 billion revenue. That's not really talking about the profits, but you'll see that the profits probably going to be quite high, taking the stadium bit apart. But even the stadium bit apart, you're getting a completely new stadium. So when we're talking about this Real Madrid team, is their new business module, and I remember saying this a few months ago. It's like actually years ago, because the way they were signing Tranemi, Camavinga, Jude Bellingham, all these other players, I just thought they are trying to buy the future of football. They're getting the best young players in their team. I just remembered how hungry they were in their pursuit of Camavinga. They are successful now. They've been successful.
Very aggressive.
They've been successful this whole decade, and they're going to continue to be successful.
Thanks.
This is absolute dominance.
That is true.
I'm trying to think like to other dominant like stages or eras in football as well. I'm trying to think about Barcelona, but even Barcelona, they weren't like this dominant from like, yes, the football side was amazing, but the business side, like
no,
you always
it wasn't this aggressive.
Yeah, you always thought like if Real Madrid get things right, they're gonna be able to fight back. And I just clocked as well. What's even more impressive about Real Madrid and what they're doing is the fact that their rivals, Barcelona, aren't doing anything. What's more impressive about this thing, and what I think most Barcelona fans won't be happy about, is the simple fact that Real Madrid, they are dominating the transfer market. They are dominating football, and the club that's supposed to, at least historically compete with them in Barcelona, they aren't doing anything to keep up with them.
Facts.
Barcelona isn't doing anything to keep up with Real Madrid, and that's a sad thought, really. It's a sad thought.
Very sad. Very sad. There's something I want to bring your mind to. When you talked about the aggressiveness Real Madrid went into signing players for when they were supposed to sign players. Take, for example, the Tchouaméni case.
Yeah.
When Tchouaméni was valued at 80 million, every team backed out. Like, no, we are not about to pay 80 million for this kid. Florentino Perez cashed out and was like, yeah, I'll take the kid for 80.
Because he saw the potential. He saw the potential. He saw the way they needed to play, and he said, what, this Casemiro, he's amazing. He's done a lot, but he's gonna hang up his boots soon. And we can't like when players get older, you can't continue to pay Casemiro the same amount of money you were paying him before. That's just silly.
Facts.
Like at some point, you need to let Casemiro know that, bro,
Mhm.
Like, do what's best for you, because we need to keep going. We need to keep being successful. And really, the name of the
Very
game
true.
right now in football is youth. If you've got the youthful
Facts.
young players, if you've got the young talented players, you're gonna dominate world football. It's as simple as that.
And let's take the 2023-2024 season into consideration. That was the season Jude Bellingham came, just last
Yeah,
season, right? We aggressively chased Jude Bellingham for 103 million, right?
yeah.
Euros. And under the radar, aggressively went straight to Arda Güler.
The
Under
Turkish,
the radar.
yeah, the Turkish sensation, like that. Oh
The
yeah,
Turkish sensation.
that was in the same summer.
That was in the same summer. And we just went directly. And in the same summer, we paid 5 million for Fran Garcia. And Fran Garcia, Arda Güler are future purchases. Trust me, this 5 million is going to benefit Real Madrid close to 20-25 million. And if any team wants Fran Garcia as we speak now, you would have to pay upwards of 20 million to get Fran Garcia. If any team wants Arda Güler now as we speak, you have to pay upwards of 40 million to get Arda Güler. So just in a season, look at the amount of value we've put on two players that are not starters in the team, let alone Jude Bellingham moving from 103 to 180 M's. So aside him doing business, once you come into the squad, he finds a way to actually put value in you. So JVM, you are very right with how aggressive he went with signing players. You are very right with how aggressive he went with like some of the signings he made. You
Yeah,
know, when we saw Rudiger disgruntled in Chelsea waiting
yeah.
for a new contract, oh, scooped him for free. Same transfer window as Chouamini. You get me? We did a lot of businesses in the right way. So I commend Florentino Perez for going all out for players like that. Mind you, we got David Alaba for free. We got Rudiger for free. We get Kylian Mbappe for free. And we are trying to get Alphonso Davies or Trent Alexander-Arnold for either cheap or free because they are in their last deal or in their last year of their deals. You know,
Yeah.
Alphonso Davies doesn't want to sign the new contract because he knows, yo, I either go for free or you sell me for cheaper.
To Real Madrid.
To Real Madrid, and Real Madrid is ready to pay the cheap price. If not, I go for free next season. This is serious finesse game, bro. This is serious finesse game. And on the other side, you have the Glazers doing the worst business I have seen in football.
Yeah.
You realize Mason Greenwood's transfer to Marseille, Getafe gets 20% of the transfer fee
Which is dumb.
for a player who was on loan for a year.
Which is dumb. Which is dumb.
How are you going to give a player on loan for your team, the team taking the player on loan to negotiate with you a 20% fee for the transfer, the next transfer of the player? I have never seen this in football, and I don't understand how Manchester is able to do business like this. And if you read the fine print, it was the Glazers.
Yeah, this Mason Greenwood deal came before Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his crew took over. And again, it's like staying in the same point because over the past few months, especially when the Football League was around, we were hearing about how all of these fans were extremely unhappy with the owners. You heard, for example, now Chelsea fans, they're fed up with Todd Boehly. They really wanted someone to buy the club after what happened with Arnautovic, but they are fed up with Todd Boehly. Liverpool fans, especially this summer transfer window, Liverpool are meant to be coming into this season to be competitive. Liverpool haven't done much in the transfer window. Manchester United and, Ten Hag's been able to win 2 cups, which has been the saving grace, but really and truly United haven't really done anything in football over the past 2 seasons. Winning those 2 cups were good, but, a club of Manchester United's stature and stature and just dimension should be doing a lot more. Even Barcelona in their down years, they're winning. But then you also have Barcelona who are also extremely unhappy with their board. Whereas Real Madrid, you're winning, you're happy with your board, and you continue to go for it. It's something to be said there about ambition. And San said here, Real Madrid won the Championship League without Ronaldo. Yes, they did win the Championship League without Ronaldo, and that's kind of the point we're making. But when I said that, I meant when Ronaldo left that first year, Real Madrid were in the mud, and no one can deny that. The Real Madrid were in the mud, and then the next season they win La Liga, which to me was crazy. They had the best defensive record of La Liga history. And then they let Atletico win, they let Barca win. But I genuinely believe the next 5 years are going to be dominant for Madrid. Absolute dominance. Let's all pray, football fans, together. Let's pray that Mbappe and this thing is not as bad as we think it is. Because if it is even
they don't figure it out.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't figure it out. Because when they do, and if they do, we are all in trouble. La Liga teams as well is even worse. Because we only have to see them in the Champions League. But the teams in La Liga, they have to see Real Madrid week in and week out.
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona fans get ready to, go purchase your packets of tissues or whatever you want to get, because it's going to be hard. You guys have been watching United for a long time. Same thing's going to happen in La Liga. It's going to be absolute dominance. Yeah. I just really wanted to give Florentino his flowers because, Florentino is not a perfect man, but none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. But when it comes to the club and his passion and ambition for the club,
Florentino Perez,
he's second to none.
Take your flowers, Florentino Perez. Your flowers.
We've just spent 60 minutes talking about Florentino Perez and Real Madrid. We're going to swiftly move over to our next topic, and trying to stay in the same same topic of Real Madrid, at least for the first 25 minutes. It is the transfer of Alphonso Davies and Trent Alexander-Arnold, because I think you touched upon this. And yeah, I just wanted to very quickly hear your thoughts on this transfer. What do you think of the possibility of signing these two extremely talented fullbacks? How they would help Real Madrid? Do they fit in the team at all? I just wanted to know what you were thinking.
With those two transfers, those are two perfect transfers for Real Madrid. If you look at the class or the caliber of players Real Madrid have signed in the fullback position so far, Alphonso Davies fits a certain mode. He might be attacking minded, but he's also defensive. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, we know, is a killer in the attack, but maybe he lacks in defense. Whatever he lacks in defense, he has the likes of Tchouaméni, the likes of Alaba, the likes of Militao, Rudiger covering for him. So this is a squad that really helps and elevates his potential. But up front, adding Trent Alexander-Arnold to an already fast attack, like an attack with Vini, Rodrigo, and Kylian Mbappe, with Bellingham right behind them as a clutch player. And you have the passes and the crosses from Trent Alexander-Arnold. That is going to be... It's going to be...
But to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still messed up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give something left. And I'm not giving.
Regardless of whichever of them we get, I think it's amazing. But if I have to choose, for now, I'll take Alphonso Davies because of the defensive prowess. You get me? And I'm a big Trent Alexander-Arnold fan. Even when people talk about his mishaps in defense, I just equate it to Marcelo. We all knew Marcelo was kind of liability in defense sometimes. Sometimes he's forceful and he tracks back, but he's kind of a liability in defense sometimes. But his upside in attack is so great and it's so amazing that you tend to live with his defensive deficiencies. And I see Trent to be a player like that. And which better team to hide your defensive deficiency than a Real Madrid who's used to doing that for defenders who don't know how to really cover their defense. We did it for Marcelo. You understand me? We did it for a few other players we did it for, even the likes of Ozil in midfield who were kind of deficient defensively. We did it for other attacking players like a Cristiano Ronaldo who was kind of defensive duties were lifted upon him, so he could do more attacking or handle more of his attacking duties. So I think we can hide it. Either player is amazing, but I'll choose Alphonso Davies for now.
Yeah, and my whole point with Trent and Davis is the fact that if they do pull this off, they could really pull them both off next summer for free, and that's that's what they were also planning to do with Euro. But then, of course, United spent 60 million on Euro, so and then Lille really had no option there. So my whole thing with this topic and why I really want to talk about this is the new strategy. We all know about R9 and how Real Madrid broke the fee with R9, how Real Madrid broke the fee with CR7, how Real Madrid broke the fee with Gareth Bale. Real Madrid are known for breaking transfer fees, even with Jude Bellingham, how much money they spent on Bellingham, Eden Hazard. But it's like a new philosophy. Like we don't need to be spending all this money on these players. We already the best team in the world. What we can do, what we will do, is let these players come to the team, and then we'll see. It kind of reminds me a little bit like of Rolls-Royce, because if you don't know, Rolls-Royce don't advertise. I remember because I went on a tour of Derby County, and Rolls-Royce are a sponsor of Derby County, but there are nothing about Rolls-Royce around the stadium, and the reason why is because Rolls-Royce doesn't really need advertising, and I think Real Madrid would be the Rolls-Royce of the football game. It's just you don't really need, at least that's the new model they're adapting. You don't need to spend this much money on players when you can get these players in anyways, and through other methods.
There is something Real Madrid is capitalizing on now that we have to mention, right? There are like 10 teams in world football, and I can mention Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, AC Milan, Juventus, Liverpool, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich. I'll add an Arsenal sometimes, and Chelsea. Over the last few years, I would add a Chelsea, right? And currently, I would add probably Man City, right? But I'll take Man City out of this because of what I want to say. These 10 teams that I've mentioned, because of their past history, players have the tendency of wanting to wear the badge. There are players who grew up as fans of a Manchester United.
Yeah.
So the player already is excited to even represent the club. Real Madrid is eating off the fact that currently, of those 10 teams that I've mentioned, Real Madrid has been the most successful over the last few years. So they are dragging all of the traffic from all of the youngsters who grew up wanting to play clubs like Real Madrid. For a player to leave a Liverpool or a Bayern Munich, who is part of this list of 10 teams that I've mentioned that with their history has people wanting to play for them, just says a lot. So just says a lot. You understand me? So it is amazing. It is amazing that Real Madrid is able to do this, and I hope all of the other teams find a way to like kind of revamp their squad so they also can pull transfers like this.
Very good. And again, I think we kind of hit it on the nail, the amount of time that we wanted to spend on Real Madrid. And, the transfer business, the revenue, they were, of course, able to exceed the amazing team they are building right now. What we're going to talk about next is we're going to get away from La Liga, because I want to now focus a little bit more on the Premier League and the deals happening in the Premier League. And it's kind of hard to talk about this upcoming Premier League season without mentioning one of the teams that have one of the highest chances of winning the whole thing. We're talking about the next possible Premier League champion, and that is Arsenal. And the question today I have for Yusuf, the question I have for you guys today is, can Arsenal win the league? And what should our expectations this season be for Arsenal? Because we know Arsenal, of course, they've been able to be competitive in the league now against City for 2 years. And if you go and ask Arsenal fans, they'll tell you that they'll be happy just competing. A lot of Arsenal fans will say that they're going to be happy just competing, and I think that is not the proper mentality for a club of Arsenal's stature, for a club of Arsenal's magnitude, a club of Arsenal's dimension. If we're talking about Arsenal Football Club, I think that Arsenal are easily one of the biggest football clubs in England, definitely one of the biggest football clubs in Europe. We all know the dominant history that Arsenal have had in the Premier League. They've been, although they never won the Champions League, there were several years there where Arsenal came very, very close to winning it during the apex, during the Henry era. So again, it's kind of weird to see this reluctance from some Arsenal fans. It's like, yeah, you want meant to compete, but you've done it for the past 2 years. So the expectation this season now should be to win the whole thing, and that's kind of the point that I'm trying to hit home for a lot of you guys out there. Even if you're an Arsenal fan, please let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. But how far can Arsenal go this season? Because this is the way I'm seeing it. You've got your players playing the type of football that you want to play. You've got your players built into this system. You have the guys that you want. You have arguably, only City really has a talking point about this. I'm talking about the best defense in the league. City, maybe United can do something this season, but again, not to Arsenal and the consistency that they've had. You're going to bring in the new Italian player. I forgot his name. Let me just go search his name up real quick. I forgot his name, and I'm gonna do him the justice. You're going to get Julian Timber back as well, because Timber is no longer injured. So, when we're talking about a team like Arsenal, wait, I know he's Calafiori. Sorry, I did not mean to butcher his name, but you signed Calafiori. You've got Timber back in the team. You've got, of course, the amazing duo of Gabriel and William Saliba. So for Arsenal, really, the question it really becomes, can you win the whole thing? And there's a player that I think Arsenal should be hunting. There's also a player that I think United should be hunting, and that's Ivan Toney. And we're going to talk about Ivan Toney a bit more towards the latter part of the show. And it's just the main point is, again, trying to reiterate this point home, you have the team that you need. You have the players that perform. You've got a captain in Odegaard, who's an amazing midfielder. You've got the likes of Declan Rice and Saka's in the superstars that are going to be consistent throughout the season. You've got the amazing defense. You've got the brilliant mind in Mikel Arteta. Like, this would be the year to break Pep. And another reason why I think it is kind of important for Arsenal to win this title is really for the legacy of the rest of the other clubs in the Premier League. For City to win 5 in a row, even with all the charges that they have against them, 5 in a row would put City in a different tier. 4 in a row, they are already the first team in Premier League history since the Premier League was established, or since the Premier League started back in '93. They're the first team to win it 4 times in a row. So, and winning it 4 times in a row is hard enough, but by them winning it 5 times in a row, they're going to be putting a different precedent or a different standard in the Premier League, and I think it's going to be hard to beat, or even just damn near impossible. Winning one Premier League is already hard enough. Trying to go for 5 is in this day and age, with the way some of these teams are playing, it sounds damn near impossible. So again, I feel like Arteta. I love Arteta. I love his style of play. Even when Arsenal weren't performing, any football fan with half a brain cell could see the way Arsenal were playing, and they were playing positive football, at least exciting football. And, it translated into them being competitive. But I think the competitiveness has to end. I was even hearing reports of Arsenal, on there being, how do you say it? On there being expectations of Arsenal also being able to win a cup competition this season. But for Arsenal, really, forget the cup competitions. I think that should be that shouldn't be your priority. Your priority should really be to go on to win the whole thing.
The honeymoon phase for Mikel Arteta, I feel, has ended last year. Mm-hmm. His drive, the way he pushed for the league, really commended by the fans. The season before that season, this performance this season, I think this is his last season to win something. If not, it's the Wenger situation all again. Arsene Wenger was doing the same thing Mikel Arteta was doing, coming second, third, winning the FA Cup and stuff like that. And you are not even winning the FA Cup or anything like that. So I think this is his last season. They've built a squad that is meant to compete with what? A Pep Guardiola. Since you've been able to compete like you did last season, I think this is the season people expect him to win something. This is the season people expect him to be more competitive than he was last season. He has to end the season with silverware. Look at his counterpart in Manchester United. With all of these appalling performances and we chastising Ten Hag and everything that we see about Ten Hag, he wins silverwares.
Yeah.
Like that is the underlying factor. He has something that he has won for the club. I think this is the time Mikel Arteta also has to win something for the club to give the fans some level of reassurance. All of the money spent, all of the investments, everything that the fans are doing for us now, this is the time Mikel Arteta has to what? Prove his worth. That is what I think. I think this is his last season.
Yeah, and I think we're not saying that he's lost it and that he's going to get sacked. We're just talking about expectations and what we should be expecting from him. And then again, just playing devil's advocate here for a second, in a universe where Arteta doesn't manage to win the league, I don't think we're going to brand him as a failure or as a bust. We're simply going to say, at least in my opinion, if he doesn't win the league, I think the second best thing for Arteta would be to at least get to the quarterfinals or to get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, because I look at the Champions League field and I think if you're able to go toe for toe with Man City, you're able to go toe with the best of them out then in the Champions League. The only two teams that I don't think Arsenal should be favourites over in Europe are Bayern and Real Madrid. So I don't think Arsenal should be favoured over Bayern, City or Real Madrid in the Champions League. But apart from those three teams, I generally believe that Arsenal should be able to make it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and they should also be able to win a cup competition. So really and truly, if Arsenal don't win the league, I need some type of silverware in the cup competitions, and I'm also going to need to see some competitiveness. I'm really going to need to see Arsenal really going for it in the Champions League. And again, I feel like if you don't win the league, you want to at least get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So yeah, I just think that Arsenal need to make improvements on what they've been able to do over the past few years, and I think that they can do that. I think they can pull it off.
That is facts. But I strongly believe, I strongly believe if Arteta goes last season like the previous seasons, the Arteta out chance might start. Look, good football doesn't always count it for the Arsenal fans. They have been merchants of good football for a long time.
Yeah.
We have people. Manchester United is in crisis and they get to celebrate something. That alone is a slap in the face. God forbid Chelsea becomes competitive. God forbid Newcastle figure it out.
Yeah.
And we all know the Brightons and all of those small teams are going to also trying to find their spark. Look at what Aston Villa was able to do last season. And they are still making signings and putting themselves in positions to repeat it. You understand me? Yeah. So there are teams around you that are getting some level of success one way or the other. And Aston Villa chasing for the league and doing something like this gets to be praised. Arsenal doing the same thing 3 seasons in a row, fans are going to be looking for something else. Yeah. Let us win something. I would say he should concentrate not only on the league, get some of the small trophies. Don't let the Manchester Uniteds and the Chelseas come and sweep that small trophies. At least they give their fans something to chant for. Yeah. And Arsenal goes the whole season and your trophy is second place. Nah, bro. Nah, bro. You get me? Your trophy can't be second place. Get them a silverware. I think this is the season he has to come up with something. And if he doesn't, JVM, I strongly believe they are going to question Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to question him to the point of Arsenal possibly sacking Arteta or anything like that. It's just going to be to the point of, if you're going to be this guy that's able to do these things and compete, can you also be the guy to get us over the finish line? I don't think
Facts.
Arsenal. I think Arsenal will be loyal towards Arteta. I think they were loyal towards Arteta even during their down times when they were finishing eighth. So if you're able to be loyal to your
Facts.
manager during those times, I feel like you can also be loyal to your manager when you're getting closer to winning the league. The point we're trying to hit home today here is the expectations for Arsenal, what Arsenal should be doing this season, what we expect Arsenal to do this season. That expectation is a lot higher. That's all we're trying to say, guys.
Facts.
If you're an Arsenal fan, I feel like you should also you should also have the same sentiment. You should also want your club. You should also want your team to be a lot more competitive.
Facts.
But yes, on the topic of Arsenal and on the topic of the Premier League, I really want to present you guys with something, and that is the boy Ivan Toney. Because my bad. Ivan Toney is if you guys don't know, he is really pushing for a move out of Brentford, which I think is he's ambitious, but you know, you kind of think of the way Brentford have treated Ivan Toney, even with his gambling scandal.
His scandal, yes.
And Brentford, they were really loyal towards him. So my thing about Ivan Toney is this. Ivan Toney is an experienced Premier League striker. He's an experienced Championship striker. Last year, he didn't perform well, but I attribute that towards the ban, because 2 years ago, he was one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League. Do you feel like, or at least what do you think of this guy being one of the players that the likes of United and Arsenal should be going towards if they want to be competitive in the Premier League next season?
JVM, I honestly don't understand the reason why this should even be a conversation.
Yeah.
Because most of these EPL teams tend to do mistakes that are rookie mistakes. Take Real Madrid signing Joselu for 500k last season as an example. This is a player who is passionate, who loves the club, actually went to watch Real Madrid win their last Champions League before the Champions League this season with his father. Passion for the club. He's played in all of these leagues, played in the Spanish league. The point I want to hit home is the fact that this guy is experienced in the Spanish league. So them bringing him in as a substitute striker, they needed his experience in this league so as to bring him in what matches like La Liga matches for him to help the squad. Experience is the key word. Experience. Manchester United has gone to sign project strikers. I understand you for signing project strikers, but why not bring one striker who has the experience of the league, the tenacity, and also has the current form to fit into your squad? So as you develop the project, you still have this one to hold the mantle until the project becomes a success. Ivan Toney shouldn't be a striker that is still on the board, if we are truly going to be honest. Because with the resources he has in his current situation, he's been able to do whatever he did. So just imagine what he can do with a Bruno Fernandes behind him. Just imagine what he can do with an Odegaard behind him. I would rather go in for Ivan Toney than play a Kai Havertz in a false nine role.
Facts.
It's
Facts.
simple. I would rather go in for an Ivan Toney in Chelsea's case than struggle with a Jackson or Borja, who constantly gets injured.
I think you hit it home there.
You understand me? Because one, Ivan Toney is very durable. Let's take his scandal aside. He's durable. He plays a lot of games. Two, he has the tenacity. He has the forcefulness. Three, he understands the league.
Yeah.
And that is very pivotal. I've noticed most of his movement, most of his runs comes from the fact that he truly understands the English game. He's an English striker in the English league that you can get at a good price. Why not invest? I see a lot of shows talk about the importance of an Ivan Toney. I'm like, yo, these teams, we don't have to tell you Ivan Toney would help your squad. Even if you have a striker now, you can still bring him in and partner him with your striker because he has skill sets to match that type of performances. You can play him up top, one top, and he would be able to perform. You can play, look, any link up play you want to play with the kid, he has the goals to back it. So I don't, and okay, maybe it's probably the color of his skin or the scandal.
Yeah, with Ivan Toney is like I kind of understand the scandal, but if the Premier League have forgiven him, if the Premier League have allowed him to play all over again, it's like just take the risk. It's like I'd rather take that risk. For example, United and Xerxes, it's like Xerxes, very good on the ball, very technical. He can beat a man, but in terms of putting the ball behind the net, which is what makes money, like he's not really doing it for me. Xerxes is not really doing it for me. So you have a player, and again, Toney, who's proven, who's done it in the Premier League. Take the Banya aside, he's been very consistent, and even if you look at his scoring record in the Championship, it's amazing. Like get this guy to come in and supplement your team. I don't think any team in the Premier League gets worse with the addition of Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney. Facts.
Like like Arsenal, you won't do worse with Ivan Toney. You won't do worse with Ivan Toney with Kai Havertz playing the false nine, or of Gabriel Jesus who can't put the ball behind the net.
There's a breaking news right now. 32 minutes ago, Fabrizio Roman. Here we go. Arsenal just signed Riccardo Calafiori from Bologna for 50 million deal package. Calafiori agreed on 5-year deal, no options, last June, and he's set to sign the contract in Arsenal this week. Arsenal and Bologna have started exchanging the documents now after agreements revealed Saturday. Bologna will receive up to 50 million package, add-ons included, and sell-on clause 2. All finally sorted. He's yet to travel for preseason in the US. Currently, Transfer Market has Ivan Toney labeled at 50%. His market value right now is 50 million.
Yeah.
Who is Arsenal's main striker, please?
Havertz, false nine. That's their main striker right now.
Yo, Arteta, bro. Arteta. Like, you see the answer to the question, right? Who is Arsenal's main striker, please? I have 50 M's.
Like,
but you went to sign.
I understand Arsenal like strengthening their defense, but you have Jesus and Magalhães. Timber was injured last season. He's gonna come back this year. Like Calafiori, amazing player, good, but again, expectations for Arsenal to win the league this season. I don't think Arsenal are gonna do it without a striker. I don't think Arsenal are going to be able to win things without a striker. Again, they did amazing last year, but that's the thing, you improve on that. For example, when City, they had one of the best seasons before Haaland came, but Pep was like, forget that, I need a striker, because we barely won the league. Let me get the best striker I can. And of course, Toney is not Erling Haaland. He's not as young as Haaland. I don't think he's as great as a goal scorer than Haaland, but I'm just trying to highlight to you guys the ambition of certain clubs. Certain clubs have ambition, and that's why they're able to be successful. You know, City do cheat. We're going to talk about the 115 eventually. I'm just waiting for the court case to start. It's meant to start in October, November. I've not forgotten about the 115, guys. Believe me, I'm going to be on City's case as soon as that happens. But I'm just trying to highlight that successful clubs, even when we're talking about Real Madrid, successful clubs are ambitious. If Arsenal want to be a successful club once again, Ivan Toney has to be in that team, or any other striker. Go find a striker. I don't care. Go get Osimhen if you want to. But Havertz up front and Gabriel Jesus, that's not the answer.
That is not going to cut it. I honestly, Calafiori, we all know him. We followed this kid, only 22 years, very young. Future is bright, but I don't think you need an additional centre back now based on what your centre backs did last season. Yeah. And to pay 50 M's for a centre back that is going to come as a backup, I think you can still get, if you needed a backup centre back, you can still get some in the market for cheaper. Right now, Arsenal's most important position right now to sort is the striker role. And with Ivan Toney presently available, I don't see the reason why Arsenal should be going in for another defender. honestly, this is a bad move for Arsenal
It is.
with Ivan Toney on the board. If they secure Ivan Toney and want to bring anybody else, because I think Arsenal needs a striker.
But yeah, let's move on from Arsenal. I think we've talked about Arsenal a lot today. And again, Arsenal are a team who I believe are on the brink of greatness. That's why I really want to talk about Arsenal on this Footy Experts, where we talk about all things football. But let's talk about everyone's favorite event of the year. At least my favorite event of the year. The Ballon d'Or. Ever since I was a kid, bro, the Ballon d'Or really, really has always gotten me going. And we're going to kind of try and debate the Ballon d'Or, at least the favorites. We could do a top 10 and all that stuff, but it's really irrelevant because we want to know who's going to win. We want to know who in this generation is going to succeed the two guys. And something that Yusuf actually brought up the other day, I don't know if it was on the show or if it was privately, is like the standards Messi and Ronaldo set back in the day.
It was on the show.
Those standards, like we used to talk about it before, and we're like, oh, they are amazing, they're the best of all time. But I think since they've left Europe and they've not been in their prime, we've seen it. It's like guys are getting in the Ballon d'Or conversation with like 25 goals in the season. Like 25 goals we get you in the Ballon d'Or conversation these days. You get like a little 10 assists, you're in the conversation. Heroes, back in the day when Ronaldo and Messi were at their apex, you would only get in these conversations if you were scoring 50, 40 goals in a season.
Like, every person that came in third, every person that came in third, fourth, and fifth in the Messi Ronaldo era with those same stats would be the Ballon d'Or this year.
That's a hot take, but I don't know if that hot take is even bad. I think that's a good hot take.
Most of Ribery would what would Ribery do in this year's with everything he did that year, winning everything he did? If Ribery was in this Ballon d'Or list, who would win the Ballon d'Or?
Actually, let's do a little mental exercise. If my memory does not fail me, let's start with 2010. I think it was. Ronaldo wasn't even top 3. It was Xavi and Iniesta. It was Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. So let's say it was Iniesta third. Would Iniesta win the Ballon d'Or this year? He would.
Facts. He would.
2011. Who was 2011? Who came third? Actually, we can search this up. Let's not.
Yeah.
Just bear with us 1 second, guys. Let's do this mental exercise because we want to be accurate. We want to be accurate. Oh, these websites. Okay.
2011, it was Lionel Messi, Cristiano, and Xavi.
Would Xavi win it again this year?
Facts.
I think he would.
2012, Lionel Messi, Cristiano, and Xavi again.
Would Xavi win 2 in a row?
He would.
I think he would.
The season they had.
Yeah, let's keep going.
2013, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Frank Ribery. The person I just spoke about.
That one's hands down. That one's like I had to think about Xavi because of the way Vinny's played this year. Xavi would Ribery would win that. He was an animal that year.
Okay. 2014, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Manuel Neuer. He might actually be the first goalkeeper to win it this year.
Yeah, he would.
Judging by the season he's had. And mind you, the reason we are saying they would win is we are also like bringing their seasons into this year to say, okay, with the seasons they had and the stats they had to back whatever they did. Okay, if they won the Champions League, meaning they won the Champions League. If they won the league, whatever they did, you understand me? So, JVM, this is a landslide for you. 2015, Lionel Messi, Cristiano, Neymar Jr.
In this generation, Neymar would be the alien.
He'll be sweeping this year.
Like
2016, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Antoine Griezmann.
Griezmann is the only one that I think is a bit shaky.
A little shaky.
It's a little bit shaky. I think that maybe I think Vinny would have Griezmann, but that's
a slight edge over him. Yeah. Okay, 2017, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and Neymar for Barcelona and for Paris Saint-Germain.
Sorry, Neymar that year was an animal. Sorry.
2018, Luka Modric, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Antoine Griezmann.
That's whenever Griezmann's third, I'll still give it to Vinny. So yeah.
Whenever Griezmann is said, you're giving it to Vini,
Yeah,
right?
I
Okay.
am.
Okay. Let me get the from the
19.
2019, right?
Was it not Van
Okay,
Dijk?
so
Was it Ronaldo?
2019 2019 was okay, the list just closed. Let me get it back.
Yeah, before
2019.
guys, come on, let us know in the chat who was 2019 top three.
2019 was Lionel Messi, Virgil van Dijk, and Cristiano Ronaldo
Yeah,
for
it was
Portugal and Juventus.
yeah, Ronaldo third.
Ronaldo is
He's
winning
winning
it.
that.
Yeah. Ronaldo, we all remember what Ronaldo did that year.
And
So
then
that was 2019, right?
and then 2020
2020, it
there
wasn't awarded.
there's a Ballon d'Or. But
Yeah. 2021, Lionel Messi, Robert Lewandowski, and Jorginho. Jorginho for Chelsea. Mind you, Jorginho won the World Cup, right? 2019.
Euro.
No. He won the Euro and he won
Champions League.
Champions League with Chelsea.
Yeah, that's the one that I think
Mind
is a
you.
bit shaky.
Yeah, because okay, but he was still awarded the European best.
Yeah, player of the year, which was disgusting.
Yeah,
Truly.
yeah, it was disgusting, but he had the accolades to back it.
Yeah.
And looking at everybody in the list this season, anybody who has won the Euros and won the Champions League should be ahead of everybody this season.
Yeah, but then that's the other thing about the Ballon d'Or is the individual thingy here, and that's why I think we need to kind of talk about it, because right now, as front runners, I have Vinny, Bellingham, and Rodri. That's the top three for the Ballon d'Or right now. And if we're being really, if we're being serious, and at least with the standard of the Ballon d'Or and how it has been, the winner should be Rodri. No, not. Yeah, the winner. Wow, that's the problem. Wow, I was gonna say Rodri, but no, Champions League. The weight of that, and the La Liga.
It looks like it's a Bellingham Vinny
Yeah,
affair.
it's Bellingham Vinny. Like I was trying to entertain Rodri, but I can't. It has to be Vinny and.
Yeah, because trust me, in the Euros, bro, Rodri was in Spain's best player.
Yeah, shout out Josh in the chat, because Josh was also Josh was also there during the PC Footy days. Sorry for cutting you off, Yusuf.
Yeah. Now I was just saying Rodri was in Spain's best player per my standards. I would even take a Fabian Ruiz. Honestly, to me, Fabian Ruiz was Spain's best player because every match of Spain that I watched, he was the reason they were going forward. Rodri did his job. I'm not taking anything away from Rodri. But we didn't see the Manchester City Rodri in this current European team. You get me? The inconsistency of Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams is the reason they didn't win it at a landslide. Yeah. Because they had some slight inconsistencies. Okay, this game is Lamar's game and this game is Nico's game. The most consistent player was Fabian Ruiz. You understand me? So I feel like it's a Vinny and Bellingham affair. And even the Vinny and Bellingham affair, Vinny started the season slightly down. He picked up getting to the end. Bellingham started the season very good. He kind of dipped getting to the end, you know. In the Euros, Bellingham was like a shadow of himself. In the Copa America, we all knew what happened to Brazil and Vinicius Jr. You understand me? So they have like failures on one corner and have like a little bit of success in the other corner. It kind of feels like Charlie Ballon d'Or this year is mid. And this is me talking about Real Madrid players.
It is mid, but I think if we're going to go over because the Ballon d'Or, they love the accolades thing. I said this before, that is not the way to judge a player individually.
Facts.
If it's an individual award, we're going to judge players individually. Like, that's it. Josh, if you want to, we can talk about PC3 towards the end of the episode. We're just going to try and hit the Ballon d'Or topic home first. But yes, it should be an individual award. If we're going to talk about team accomplishments as well, I think Bellingham's got it. Because with the England squad, he got the team to the final. And again, that bicycle goal in the round of 16 saved them. So Bellingham was extreme, and he got the assist for Palmer's goal as well to give them in the game. Was and then in the Champions League, Bellingham was also influential. He wasn't as influential as Vinny, but again, very
But he was,
influential.
yeah.
In
Even the build up to the final.
yeah, in the league towards the end of the season, Bellingham's influence stopped being as potent because the team began to gel a lot better. But at the start of the season, those first like 5 games, Bellingham got Real Madrid those first 5 games pretty much single-handedly, and even against the 2 games against Barcelona where Bellingham came clutch. My Ballon d'Or winner would be Jude Bellingham. You can make an argument for Vinny being clutch in the latter stage of the Champions League, but I just feel like Bellingham, he's been consistent for Madrid throughout the whole season, whereas Vinny, at the start of the season, there were a lot of question marks about Vinny at the start of the season. Also because Bellingham was the man when you were kind of expecting Vinny to be the man for Real Madrid early on. And then of course and then you compare like the international success where Vinny got himself he got a second yellow card which saw him not get to the quarterfinals, and Bellingham was there for his team to get them to the finals. My Ballon d'Or winner has to be Bellingham. You can make a case for Rodri, but did Rodri win the Champions League? Which trophy has more weight, the Euros or the Champions League? I think the Champions League holds more weight than the Euros. So
that is very true.
My winner goes to, and then when you talk about their domestic success, I feel like Bellingham was more influential to Real Madrid winning La Liga
winning the league
than Rodri was. Of course, that's not me taking anything away from Rodri because again, I don't think City lost a single game with Rodri on the pitch, but I'm just thinking, and it's kind of the problem with CDMs. But again, with Bellingham, all the moments he was able to get us throughout the season, the goal, the winner he scored against Real Madrid, the 3 winners in a row in the first 3 games of the season. It has to be Jude. I think Jude would be my Ballon d'Or winner this year.
Facts. You're right. It's between Jude and Vinny. So since you picked Jude, I'm going for Vinicius Jr. Just because of the clutch moments. He stepped up when we needed him to step up. Even though Jude carried us from the beginning of the season, I feel like Vinicius Jr. carried us home. You get me? So I need to also commend the fact that he was injured in some part of the season, but still came back strong. So.
But to it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up in left. And I'm not giving.
I think Vinny totally manhandled the Champions League, and he deserves that recognition for it. So since you went Bellingham, I'm going Vinny for these reasons.
Okay. But yeah, just to not talk about the top 3, if I had to put players up there to give them a shout, you of course have to go Florent Wirtz. I think it's impossible not to give Florent Wirtz a shout with the amazing year he had. It was a shame that Germany, if Germany were on the other bracket, they would have met Spain in the final. And I feel like Germany was the only team that gave Spain a run for their money. I feel like it would have been a very, very different affair if Germany had a proper striker. Of course, Carvajal, the year he's had. We're talking about Vinny and Bellingham not having success with the international teams, whereas Carvajal was in that team in La Liga, he was in the Champions League, and he was in the Euro Cup. So I feel like Carvajal has to finish 4th, but again, your performance also matters, and Bellingham and Vinny were, of course, the main players for Real Madrid. Whereas Carvajal kind of was able to, take a step back at times, and even when Carvajal's performances were being at their best, but Carvajal has to finish within the top 4 or even 3rd. You could even put Carvajal ahead of Rodri, and I think that's actually the correct thing to do now that I'm thinking about it. You could even put Carvajal 2nd if you want. Whether you give it to Bellingham or Vinny, you could even put Carvajal 2nd if you want. But yeah, Carvajal, Florent Wirtz. Who else? I think Harry Kane should not go underrated. Harry Kane didn't win anything this year, but in terms of individual performance, but it being Europe's top scorer, I think should not be unstated. Shouldn't go understated. And yeah, just some players I want to give a shout out to. Lautaro Martinez as well.
Lautaro.
Not the biggest fan. We're not the biggest fans of the Argentinian national team on this pod, but we need to give flowers where flowers are due. Martinez,
Very true.
he done his thing this year. He done his thing. He was clutch for club and country. So Martinez also deserves his flowers.
Yeah, and Rudiger. We need to give Rudiger his flowers too.
Yeah, Rudy was also
I feel
instrumental
like
to that team.
Rudiger was very instrumental for the team winning. So
Phil
we need to
Foden.
give Rudiger his flowers.
I don't
Phil
think-
Foden.
I don't think Phil Foden should finish within the top 5. In terms of talent, I feel like Phil Foden is a top 5 talent in the world, but because he went so quiet in the Euros, I feel like Foden deserves to be top 5. Not over Wirtz, not over Carvajal, Rodri, Bellingham, or Vinny. Not over those guys.
One other person we should give our flowers to, who could have been considered if his team did something better this season, is Kylian Mbappe.
Yes, Mbappe.
He has the stats to back it. He has the goals to back it. He has everything aside the hard way.
Yeah,
So
if I'm not mistaken, Mbappe was the second top scorer in Europe this year. And when you think about the comeback they had against Barcelona in the round of 16, it was Mbappe once again rallying the troops. So definitely cannot forget about that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cole Palmer would not be in my top 10 this year.
for Ballon d'Or,
Not because he doesn't deserve it in terms of talent wise, but the other players we're talking about. Because if we're talking about players that didn't win anything, I have Mbappe and Harry Kane over Cole Palmer, 100%. Even
didn't Mbappe win the league?
Please, League 1 doesn't count. Come on, that League 1 holds no weight.
But still, he won something. You say he didn't win anything. You say he didn't. You say he didn't win anything. So I'm just saying, did he win the league? At least he has some silverware.
I didn't even think about it when I said it, and I'm not really sorry about it either. Like, that League 1. No disrespect, but that league is bad. That's why they had to cut it to 18. They were making enough money. The league could even be 20 players. They weren't making enough money. They had to cut it down to 18. That shows you the quality in the league. But yeah, you've got Mbappe, Harry Kane, all of these guys way before I would put Palmer in there.
That is true.
But final topic of today, guys, let us know in the chat if you know Josh, Frederick, MFC 2009. You guys are amazing. Let us know in the chat if you guys have any topics that you want to talk about. But the last topic we're going to talk about today is Paul Pogba. Bill Pogba. And where is he? Where's the missing man?
The last time I saw him, he was in Vegas during the NBA.
Yeah. This is
during
bad.
the NBA scrimmages, taking pictures with the likes of Anthony, Iman, the likes of LeBron and stuff like that. That is the last time I saw him.
Steph.
In the footballing realms, I don't even know what to think about Paul Pogba right now. After the interview and him saying he's back, and where is Paul Pogba? That is the $1 million question. And is he going to come back to football?
My thing with Pogba is one thing to underperform. Players underperform, players age. But cheating, cannot stand that. Cheating and getting caught as well. Like, let's be honest, getting caught, that's the worst part. But cheating is bad. Cheating, I'm a big fan. We appreciate you, Timmy. Thank you for saying that, Timmy. Cheating is bad enough, but for you to get caught as well, that's a bad look. The main reason why I want to talk about Paul Pogba is because people have this recency bias, and they forget how good this guy truly was.
It was magic.
I was watching Yusuf Fofana, earlier on today on the United show in the morning, and Fofana, he's very good, and he just kept reminding me of Paul Pogba. I was like, yeah, he's all right, but Pogba was doing this as well. I feel like the main problem Pogba had was Manchester United and them not building the team properly around Paul Pogba. I feel like United could have done a much better job of adapting to Paul Pogba, because I don't think Pogba needed a proper CDM, and the best CDM he had at the time was an aging Matic, which did not help at all. Pogba playing with an AJ Matic did not help. I feel like Pogba's best times at United came when he was playing with Matic, Herrera, and then Pogba a bit further up. That was the season where Pogba was able to be United's best top scorer. But then they got rid of Herrera because they didn't want to pay him enough money. But yeah, with Pogba, it's giving me Neymar vibes. But even with Neymar, it's like Neymar was able to achieve so much in his career. Pogba was able to achieve a lot. But it's like these two players that you look at as generational talents, and then they disappear from the face of the earth
as quickly as they came.
Yeah, oh, wow, that's poetic. As quickly as they came.
Yeah, because they are generational talents, you know. Remember when he left Manchester United over the arguments with playtime and everything? The first training session, I watched this. I don't know where I saw it, even if it's an article or it's a video. The first training session, Pirlo said when he came to the training session, he saw a kid moving crazy. And he's like, who is this kid? And they said, oh, this poor Pogba. He just came in from Manchester United. And he asked, so how much did we pay for him? And they were like, nah, we didn't really pay shit for him.
It was free.
They didn't want him. And I was like, Sir Alex Ferguson saw this and said this thing to go. They said yes. And he said Manchester United is going to regret selling this player.
And they did, big
and
time.
They did regret. We
went back and we broke the scoring records, the transfer record, to sign him back. That's how good Paul Pogba was. People are forgetting that midfield, that triangle that was able to win the league 3 times: Pirlo, Arturo Vidal, Marquisio, and Pogba. People are forgetting that
Take them to the final.
Pogba was an instrumental part of that team. Forgetting that Pogba, he wasn't even 25 yet, and he was in the Ballon d'Or top 10 that year.
Facts.
2015.
Facts.
At United, serious conversations about him and De Bruyne on who was the best player.
And he was in the FIFA Pro 11, right? That year in Juventus.
Yeah, he was. 2018 World Cup, bossing the midfield for France. He bossed the midfield for France. Scored in the final as well. Even at United, when United were in the biggest stage, when they went to the Europa League final, Pogba was there to score for the team. Never shies away from the biggest moments. Took a generational play, and for this to be the end of Paul Pogba's career is disheartening as a fan. It's truly disheartening as a fan.
That is true. This shouldn't have been the end, bro.
It shouldn't have.
It shouldn't have been the end.
Yo, this was our last topic, and I want to end, but there's so many of you watching right now that I don't want to end it. Like, guys, come on, let us know in the chat what you guys want to talk about.
Because let me mention something. Vivian, sorry to cut you off. Let me mention something. Yeah? Let me mention something. So UEFA just sanctioned Rodri and Morata for making some chants during the Spanish celebrations, right? We know the Euros just ended. During the Spanish celebrations, they made a chant by saying Gibraltar is Spanish, right? And if, Chad, I would indulge you to go do your research about Gibraltar and Spanish and everything like that. And already UEFA has come out to sanction them. But we are still waiting for the investigation for the Argentina situation. Let that sink in. Because this is a similar situation. But Argentina's situation is worse. You understand me? And already UEFA is sanctioning Rodri and Morata for those incidents. Whatever sanction they get, it's still a sanction. And so far, we are still waiting for the investigation in the Argentina situation. I rest my case.
Josh just dropped in the chat, what's worse, the Pogba allegations or the Paqueta allegations? I'm looking up right now the Paqueta allegations, but what are they? What are the Paqueta allegations?
Wasn't it cheating too?
Yeah, betting.
Yeah. Wasn't it? It's both bad. It's both bad. But the Pogba allegations only hurts Pogba. Paqueta's allegations goes further to hurt me and you.
How?
Okay, he's been caught for doping. Right?
Yeah.
Performance enhancement and stuff like that. It only elevates his performance. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Paqueta, okay, me and you, we are gamblers too, right? He's gambling on the same matches, fixing those matches. Everybody in world football loses money. As a fan, you lose your excitement. It messes up with your day,
Yeah.
right? Financially, it messes up with you too because maybe you also gambled on that game and he's fixing those matches. You understand me? So even though they are both bad, I still feel like the Paqueta should probably just leave Europe because I don't think they would leave him over this incident.
And yeah, Max edits also talking about Califori. We talked about Caliofri Califori. Sorry, I keep butchering his name. But we talked about him early on in the show, and we said that, good signing for Arsenal, but I don't think Arsenal's problem last year was the defense. I still think Arsenal's main problem has been their striker. I think Arsenal should be working overtime to fix that problem. Califori,
Yeah.
great player, great Italian defender, but I still think Arsenal striker problems would be the thing that will take them to the next level. And the people saying, oh, but Arsenal play great football. They don't need a striker. And my thing is, when City won the league for the second time in a row, what did they go in and do? Get Erling Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
Pep
the squad.
said, yeah, this year we did well, but this is not having a goal. It doesn't have to be a striker. It can be a winger. We saw Ronaldo and Messi doing it from the wing for years. But it doesn't have to be a striker per se, but a goal scorer in your team needs to happen.
This is the good, better, best situation. As you said, City won the league, but felt like what? We went from good, better. So we are better. We won the league. What do you think would happen when we are best? That is why they brought Haaland. So Arsenal have to do the same thing.
Even Real Madrid,
Mm-hmm.
they just won the double and they got Mbappe. It's ambition.
Yeah, good, better, best. Yeah.
It's
We
all
want to be
about
unstoppable.
ambition. And it's like, I'm looking at Arsenal. Yeah, go on.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was going to say, because even though we won the double last season, in the Champions League, we were not as convincing.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed to show out every doubt. So facts what you're saying.
But yes, guys, we appreciate all of you guys. Again, there will be videos of what we talked about here today on the channel. We appreciate all of you guys watching. It really means a lot. This has been so far the best. I support. you won't like this, facts. I support United. Yusuf supports Real Madrid. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be uploading shorts and videos on these two podcasts yesterday and today. We're going to be back next week with 2 more episodes. Guys, truly, especially shout out to Josh, shout out to Fax, shout out to Frederick, shout out to Timmy, shout out to Cookie, to Sarah Ronaldo, shout out to San, MFC 2009. Shout out to all of you guys for being in the chat, commenting. JRM, we appreciate all of you guys for supporting the channel. We will be back next week, hopefully Monday, with another show. But as per usual, guys, we'll see you soon. Any final words, Yusuf?
Yeah, stay positive, man, and stay full of hope, my people. Just stay positive and stay full of hope. Never lose confidence in yourself and never lose confidence in your dreams.
See you guys soon. We'll see you guys soon.